Hi everybody, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Mr Whip and I'm going to be your teacher from September in Class 3. Joining us will be Mrs Maroof and Mrs Hassan, who you already know. Now, I'm looking really forward to getting to know each and every single one of you and finding out some of the things that you like. But here's a few things about me. I like football and I'm a big rugby league fan. As you can see, I support the Castlewood Tigers and I do try to get to as many games as possible. I've also got a French bulldog, his name's called Reggie, and he's very naughty most of the time. But when he wants feeding, he's really good. Also, I've got two sons. My eldest who's Leo, and he's 5, and I've got Harry, who's 2.5. So, that's a little bit about me. Now, in terms of what Class 3 will be like, when you come to Class 3 in September, it is going to look a little bit different, but most importantly, we're still going to have our reading corner where you can choose a book and keep it at your desk to read. Pencil cases. You're each going to be provided with a pencil case that's fully equipped, so there is no need to bring a pencil case in from home at all. What I would say though is every day, could you please make sure that you bring your water bottle in so that you keep hydrated, and again, like your pencil cases, it'll be kept on your desk. Behaviour system. The behaviour system is exactly the same as it was in Year 2, it's still a stepped approach. Okay. Now the timetable, again, like Class 2, very similar, and it follows the usual timetable. We're going to cover spelling, we're going to cover handwriting, maths, English including comprehension, and topic, and we're also going to make sure that we're doing our 1K every day. Now some of the topics we're going to cover in Class 3 are, such as the first one, our all different, all equal, whole school topic, and that's one that I'm really looking forward to. We're also going to cover the ancient Greeks, healthy eating, the Victorian era, in particularly looking at how styling has changed, and finally contrasting locality between Wakefield and Scarborough. Now, before I go, I'm going to share a short extract from a book that we're going to do together in our first half term. See if you can work out what it is. If not, get your parents involved. Can they work out what story this extract's from? I hope you enjoy it. If you went too near the edge of the chalk pit, the ground would give way. Barney had been told this often enough. Everybody had told him. His grandmother every time he came to stay with her. His sister every time she wasn't telling him something else. Barney had a feeling, somewhere in his middle, that it was probably true about the ground giving way. But still, there was a difference between being told and actually seeing it happen. And today was one of those grey days when there was nothing to do, nothing to play, and nowhere to go, except to the chalk pit. The dump. Barney got through the rickety fence and went to the edge of the pit. This had been the side of a hill once, he told himself. Men had come to dig away chalk and left this huge hole in the earth. He thought of all the sticks of chalk they must have made and all of the blackboards and all of the skulls they must have written on. They must have dug and dug for hundreds of years, and then they got tired of digging, or somebody had told them to stop before they dug away all of the hill. And now they did not know what to do with this empty hole, and they were trying to fill it up again. Anything people didn't want, they threw into the bottom of the pit. He crawled through the rough grass and peered over. The sides of the pit were white chalk, with lines of flint poking out like bones in places. And at the top was crumbly brown earth and the roots of the trees that grew on the edge. The roots looped over the edge, twined in the air and grew back in the earth. Some of the trees hung over the edge, holding on desperately by a few roots. The earth and chalk had fallen away beneath them, and one day they would too fall into the bottom of the pit. Strings of ivy and the creeper called Old Man's Beard hung in the air. Far below was the bottom of the pit, the dump. Barney could see strange bits of wreckage among the moss and elder bushes and nettles. Was that the steering wheel of a ship? The tail of an aeroplane? At least there was a real bicycle. Barney felt sure he could make it go if only he could get to it. They didn't let him have a bicycle. Barney wished he was at the bottom of that pit, and the ground gave way. Barney felt his head going down and his feet going up. There was a rattle of falling earth beneath him. Then he was falling, still clutching the clump of grass that was falling with him. This is what it's like when the ground gives way, thought Barney. Then he seemed to turn a complete somersault in the air, bumped into a ledge of chalk halfway down, crashed through some creepers and ivy and branches, and landed on a bank of moss. His thoughts did those funny things they do when you bump your head, and you suddenly find yourself thinking about what you had for dinner last Tuesday, all mixed up with 7 times 6. Barney lay with his eyes shut, waiting for his thoughts to stop being mixed up. Then he opened them. He was lying in a kind of shelter. Looking up, he could see a roof, or part of a roof, made of elder branches, a very rotten old carpet, and rusty old sheets of iron. There was a big hole through which he must have fallen. He could see the white walls of the cliff, the trees and creepers at the top, and the sky with clouds passing over it. Barney decided he wasn't dead. He didn't even seem to think that he was hurt very much. He turned his head and looked around him. It was dark in this den after looking at the white chalk, and he couldn't see what sort of place it was. It seemed to be partly a cave dug into a chalk, partly a shelter built out over the mouth of the cave. There was a cool, damp smell. Woodlice and earwigs dropped from the roof where they had broken through it. But what had happened to his legs? He couldn't sit up when he tried to. His legs wouldn't move. Perhaps I'd broken them, Barney thought. What shall I do then? He looked at his legs to see if they were all right, and found they were all tangled up with creeper from the face of the cliff. Who tied me up, thought Barney. He kicked his legs to try and get them free, but it was no use. There were yards of creeper trailing down from the cliff. I suppose I got tangled up when I fell, he thought. Expect I wouldn't have broken my neck if I hadn't. He lay quiet and looked around the cave again. Now that his eyes were used to it, he could see further into the darkness of the cave. There was somebody there. Or something. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and that's a story again that we're going to cover in our first half term together. I just want to say before I see you in September, keep well, stay safe, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.